I will be there before you get to anything important. I already know how many paper clips we wasted last week.
I'm the only person in my class who hasn't been to a concert.
I find that hard to believe.
It's true. Taylor's parents took her to NSYNC. They had third row seats.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Well, Taylor's parents are Muldoons.
What's a Muldoon?
It's something I don't have time to explain right now. Help me find the car keys.
It's my first day of residency, and Donna decides to outlaw coffee.
Well, I still brew a pot every morning so that I can breathe the fumes.
I'm late. Do you have a travel mug?
Where did I put them?
Have you forgiven me for calling you an overbearing, control obsessed matriarch?
Yes. Have you forgiven me for calling you flighty and casting aspersions on your manhood?
Yes.
Good, then. Here is your morning coffee.
Cousin Kyle, how old were you when you went to your first concert?
You are so out of this.
I'm out of this.
Why has Donna outlawed coffee?
Third world countries use illegal pesticides that eat your liver. And secondhand steam is going to stunt Ariadne's growth. Even though I explained to Donna that my liver is used to the abuse and that the stunted growth thing has no scientific basis, the next thing I know, she's given our coffee maker to the woman across the hall who apparently she's trying to kill. Or shrink.
Are we going to be late again?
You know, you could help me find the car keys instead of whining about what I haven't done for you lately.
Where's the cream?
In the refrigerator.
Ah, yes, right next to the car keys.
We're out of here.
Amanda Buddha got a cell phone for her birthday.
Here, get in the car, now.
No!
Hi, Aunt Jillian.
Bye, Aunt Jillian.
Oh, Jillian, honey, would you or Kyle lock up and take us to DEF CON 3?
I was hoping to talk to Maxine, but maybe I could
I would love to talk to you about whatever it is, but I'm going to be late for my first day of residency. I can't be late. The alarm code's Lauren's birthday.
I just want to talk to someone.
Good morning.
Put that out, please.
I'm sorry, are you allergic?
I don't want you out here in your lab coat smoking.
Thank you for your concern for my health.
It looks bad for doctors to display their hypocrisy so prominently. Don't you agree? So if you must smoke, do it at home with the shades down.
Are you serious? Well, do you have any rules about coffee, red meats, hydrogenated fats, or sexual partners? Because I want to be the best gosh darn doctor I can be.
This whole I'm just so gosh darn charming thing might work other places, but it just irritates me. Are you coming?
I thought I'd have a cigarette. Consider my options. Yes, I'm coming. But I won't run. That'd be dangerous. I'm going to walk.
Grab those files.
Why am I grabbing these?
For now and for future reference, whenever I tell you to do something, the answer to why will always be that I'm your attending physician and I told you to do it.
Works for me.
Those are insurance company files. Pre-op clearance letters, so on and so forth. Pull the patient's charts, answer the questions. You can't find an answer, just make something up. Only make sure what you make up, they'll okay payment for. You need to be done by 10.
That's 45 minutes.
Good, you can tell time. That'll come in handy.
Don't you have secretaries to do stuff like this?
No, we have residents to do stuff like this.
Versus David Nelson. Mr. Nelson has been charged with sexual assault in the first degree and has been transferred back to juvenile. Mr. Friedman?
The state will prove that Mr. Nelson, a high school wrestler, violently assaulted Mrs. Levitt in the women's locker room at the high school gymnasium and raped her.
According to the file in front of me, this alleged rape occurred a year ago. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 months ago, Mrs. Levitt had a baby. The baby required a blood transfusion. When the baby's blood was typed, it was determined that Mrs. Levitt's husband couldn't possibly be the child's father. At that point, Mrs. Levitt belatedly and desperately claimed she was raped.
That is both offensive and unfair, Your Honor. The two events, Mrs. Levitt deciding to pursue rape charges and the paternity finding, have nothing to do with each other. As Your Honor is well aware, there is a 5-year statute of limitations on rape.
You're right, Mr. Friedman. I am well aware. Well, according to the file, subsequent DNA tests determined that Mr. Nelson is definitively the biological father. Does the defendant contest these facts?
No, he's mine.
No, Your Honor, we don't contest any of the finding of fact.
You are the baby's father?
Yes.
Okay. And the defense contends...
The defense contends, Your Honor, that there is a sexual predator in this room, but she's sitting over there.
What did she say? That is a lie.
All right, okay. All right. Well, let's start first thing in the morning. I'll hear testimony...
Tomorrow at 9.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Dr. Spencer, please dial the operator. Dr.
Kyle?
Spencer, please dial the operator.
Maxine, I heard rumors you were in the building.
What are you doing? Are you operating on that light fixture?
This is much more difficult than it looks. Some interns train for years before they get to do one of these.
Don't let me disturb you.
You didn't come all the way down here just to convince me to go back to my other job where I don't have to change light bulbs.
No such luck. I'm on an abandoned child call. Is pediatrics still this way?
Yeah, just follow the row of burned out light bulbs. Maxine, you're staring.
It's the scrubs. They suit you.
I used to swim after school. The day it happened, it was a Wednesday. There was no one else around. Well, not when I started. But when I got out of the pool, I saw David. He was standing next to the locker room doors. I don't know how long he'd been watching me, but it wasn't the first time I'd seen him there before.
And you knew David from your physics class?
That's right. He said that he was upset with his grade on the midterm. I told him this wasn't the time to talk about it. I told him that if he wanted to come see me in the morning before class, we could set up some tutoring sessions.
What was his response?
He called me a bitch. I turned around and I tried to get to the exit. That's when he grabbed me, threw me into the locker room, and pushed me down onto the floor. Everything just happened so fast.
Did you struggle? Try and fight back?
Yeah, I tried. But there was no way. I mean, he was on top of me, and he was very strong. I tried to hit him in the face, and I kicked him, but I don't even think he felt it.
And what happened next?
What happened next was he raped me.
Did you seduce David Nelson?
No.
Have you ever had a sexual relationship with a student?
No.
No more questions?
And her mother just handed her over and left?
No, apparently she stayed for a while. When the receptionist gave her the paperwork, the woman said that she left a purse in the car, and that was the last anyone saw of her.
Where's your mama, young lady? How's she doing?
We're going to release her in a couple of days. We caught it early.
What exactly did you catch?
It's the strangest thing. She was in the early stages of something called Chagas disease.
I've never heard of it.
To tell you the truth, I hadn't either until today. It's prevalent in Central America, sometimes the South, but never New England.
Is she going to be all right?
Yeah, we've got it under control. She's on some pretty heavy-duty antibiotics, but I think she's going to be just fine.
What about the mother? What do we know about her? Name and address?
No. But we have a description of her. The security camera out front got a pretty good shot of her.
I'll need a copy of that video, and I'd like to be paged if anybody calls about this little girl.
Anything else?
Yes, I have a camera in my car, and with your permission, I'd like to take her picture.
Of course.
Did anyone see you leave the swimming pool area on the day of this alleged rape?
The school clears out pretty quickly in the afternoon. There was no one else around.
Okay. This rape, which no one witnessed, happened a little more than a year ago, is that right?
Yes?
Why didn't you report it on the next day? Or the next month?
Your Honor, I'm sure you're aware that something like 75% of the rapes in this country go unreported.
That may well be. But I'm not asking about any of those rapes. I'm asking about this one.
Why didn't you report it back then?
I guess I was in shock. And when I thought about reporting it, all I could imagine were these kids that I have to face every day. I mean, that's my job. I stand up in front of these kids, and I just didn't think I could do that if they knew what had happened to me. I love my job, and I wanted to keep it.
And yet here we are. What happened?
I changed my mind. I decided I couldn't stay quiet.
Let me see if I can pinpoint for you exactly when you changed your mind. Was that when your husband learned he was not the biological father of your son?
Your Honor.
This is not daytime TV, Ms. Orr. Please keep the theatrics to a minimum.
Mrs. Levitt, when your husband learned he was not the biological father of the child, what was his reaction?
He was upset.
Upset because you hadn't told him about your relationship with David Nelson?
No. Upset because I was raped. Upset because I hadn't confided in him. Upset because he cares about me.
What do you suppose his reaction would have been if you told him you were sleeping with one of your students?
Your Honor, now she's asking the witness to speculate.
You've been to law school, haven't you, Ms. Orr? If you have a case to make it. Otherwise...
No more questions.
Baby was left at the emergency room. There's no sign of abuse, but she's being treated for a disease that's usually found in Central America.
She is a cutie.
Excuse me?
Look at her. Look at her little nose.
The baby has a nose, Robert. That's an excellent observation.
Oh, those cheeks. Man, you just want to pinch them.
Could we attempt to maintain an atmosphere of professionalism, at least until noon?
Sorry.
We need to find her mother.
How about INS? If she's being treated for a Central American disease, there's a chance she's illegal.
Robert, you have a connection at INS, do you not?
I'll go make the call.
And I thought perhaps we could try and get that picture on the evening news, since the baby has a certain aesthetic appeal.
You mean because she's a big cutie pie? Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Media loves this kind of thing. It's early. Might have a shot at the 6 o'clock newscast. You know, Maxine, you might fool Robert, but I know you're a big softy.
Let's find her mother, shall we?
I went to Mrs. Levitt for help after the midterm. That part's true. But it was in the classroom after the bell, and there were other kids around.
What did she say when you asked for help?
That time we talked about the test, how I could do better on the next one.
That time?
And she decided that I should start coming for tutoring every week.
And did you like spending that time with Mrs. Levitt?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about everything. She was interested in my life, in me.
Was she? Or is that just what you told yourself?
She started showing up at all my wrestling matches, even the away ones.
What happened after the Groton match?
It was a night match, and my parents couldn't make it, But Mrs. Levitt was there, and she offered me a ride home.
Can we get to a point, please?
Well, on the way home, she decided that she wasn't ready to drop me off just yet. So she drove me down to Dudley Pond, and we parked on the side of this dirt road. The radio was on. We were listening to the music and talking, and Mrs. Levitt, she leaned over and kissed me. I couldn't believe it, but I kissed her back. We kept kissing for a while, and that's when it all happened.
What all happened?
She asked me if I'd ever had sex before. I told her the truth, even though I was embarrassed. I said no. She asked me if I wanted to. And that's when we did it. We slept together. In her car, we had sex.
And did your relationship continue?
For a month, or maybe 6 weeks.
Always in her car?
Sometimes in motels, once in her office, but a bunch of times in her car.
No more questions?
Mr. Nelson. Do you recognize this?
Yeah.
Your principal found this in your locker? Is that true?
This is ridiculous, Your Honor. What possible relevance could
Just
this
want to
have?
read one brief excerpt, Your Honor, and then it will go right back in the brown paper bag.
Fine, just keep it PG-13.
My anatomy lesson. Dear Playpen, I think I'm the luckiest sophomore at Kennedy High School. Last Tuesday, after working out in the gym, I missed my bus home. I was looking for a payphone to call my mom when my biology teacher, I'll call her Miss X, 26 years old, long red hair, super hot, offered me a ride. She drove me down to a deserted lake. No sooner had we parked than...
Okay, Mr. Friedman, I think we're up to speed.
I never even read that.
Mr. Nelson, do you consider yourself violent?
No.
Isn't it true that you were suspended from the wrestling team last season?
It was only for a week.
And wasn't that because you broke the collarbone of one opponent and fractured the jaw of another?
It's a contact sport. That stuff happens.
It seems to happen to you quite often.
I didn't hurt Mrs. Levitt. I didn't do what she says I did.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mrs. Levitt?
We had plans. After I graduated, we were going to be together.
Was Mrs. Levitt in on those plans, or was this just going on in your head?
She was going to leave her husband. It was going to just be us. She loved me.
How do you know that? Did she tell you that she loved you?
I just knew. We had a connection. Even after she broke up with me, I could still tell that she cared about me. I mean, I saw the way she looked at me.
How did she look at you?
Like she could look right through me.
Did you ever ask Mrs. Levitt if she shared these feelings?
By that time, it was too late. I mean, after she broke up with me, she wouldn't even talk to me. She wouldn't answer my calls. I sent her letters. I sent her flowers. I left messages on her desk.
Why didn't you leave her alone?
Your Honor, may I suggest a recess?
We were in love. We were gonna be together.
How about it, Your Honor? 10-minute recess?
Yeah, fine. 10-minute recess.
All rise. You all right?
I was well within my rights to ask like those questions. Wasn't I?
It seemed like a good time for a recess, that's all.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm looking at that kid and I'm seeing my stalker.
I didn't say that.
I think I've reached my limit on disturbed young men, inside the court and out. What?
Nothing. It's just... It's not too late to recuse yourself. If you need a docket to change.
Tell me you didn't just advise a judge to recuse herself.
I'm clarifying your options for you, Judge Gray. I'm well within my rights to do that.
You believe him, don't you? You think she seduced him?
It's not my job to say. Can I ask where you're going?
I need some air.
Well, your blood pressure's normal. Everything looks and sounds fine. You say nothing hurts.
I know. I wish I could reel off some symptoms, but I can't explain it. I just don't feel right.
And Jillian, remember when you were sure you had lupus?
This is different.
And is this more like when you were allergic to your deodorant and thought you had armpit cancer?
Dr. Riley, I'm aware that I've had an imagined illness or two.
And then there was the indentation in your lower leg that turned out to be new muscle tone from the exercise bike.
All I know is that I am tired when I wake up and I'm tired when I go to bed.
How old's your son now?
Almost 2. But he's sleeping through the night and it's not that kind of tired.
How do you know? You've never had a toddler before?
I just know.
Okay. How's your marriage?
Eric, don't let me miss Sean Street.
You still got about a mile.
Okay, so let's say Eric was babysitting and I had a big project that was due the next day. And suddenly, all the electricity went out. And I needed to call you at work.
Well, electricity doesn't have anything to do with the phone.
It's a massive technological breakdown caused by terrorists or aliens?
Okay, well, in that case, I think it would be fine if Lauren's homework wasn't done on time.
You're not helping.
I think you were doing better with Amanda Buddha got a cell phone for her birthday.
Oh,
What is it?
no. Something not good.
Uh-oh.
Can you change a tire, Eric?
How hard could it be? Was your tire changing stuff?
Would that have come with the car, or did I have to buy that extra?
I don't know.
Wait. That's what cell phones are for.
What if we were stranded like this and you pulled out your cell phone and the battery was dead? Wouldn't it be good to have a backup cell phone?
Lauren, I'm thinking this is not the time.
How did you do that?
Huh. You must have one of those roadside service contracts.
But how did they know?
Well, looks like you're in a bit of trouble.
Nothing we can't handle.
That tire's quite a mess.
Yeah, that's why I called AAA.
I just happened to be driving by. In my tow truck?
We'd rather wait for the one we already called.
Well, Lauren probably has homework waiting. Right, Lauren?
Do I know you?
I'm a friend of your mother's.
I'm surprised to see you. I didn't think I'd see you again.
Well, life is unpredictable, right? Just when you think one thing's gonna happen, the exact opposite does. I'll check back in a few minutes and make sure you're okay.
Well, we won't be here.
Then I'll see you around.
Who is he?
He's somebody I know from work.
What's he doing all the way out here?
I don't know, Lauren. He's working around here, I guess.
I bet he could have fixed our car.
Not necessarily.
Why didn't you let him help us?
Well, this is what I pay the auto club for.
But he was already
Hey, Lauren, I'm the grown-up. Wait in the car, okay?
I know you have to go to work. I just thought we really haven't had time to chat lately, and you might have a few minutes to catch up on things. Like how your grandson is doing in preschool. And...
How is Ned doing in preschool?
Fine.
Oh, good.
I guess you want details.
If you have any.
Well, he gets along well with other kids, and he likes finger painting. The only problem is that we can't seem to get him to stop eating crayons.
Well, I'm sure that's just a phase.
We've tried explaining it and bribing him and...
Jillian, all of my children ate crayons, and they survived.
Maxine, there's something wrong with me.
What do you mean?
I went to the doctor and he didn't believe me. He thinks I'm a hypochondriac. And maybe I am. I mean, there probably isn't a disease that hasn't been through my search engine. I know that, but this is different.
What is different, Jillian?
I can't explain it. I'm tired all the time and I can't think, and I feel like I have a head cold, but I don't. I feel stupid, like I'm superimposed on the world, like I can't connect. I don't know. I just know that there is something wrong with me, and I'm so afraid that I'm gonna be dead before anybody believes me. And it's my own fault, because I thought I had armpit cancer.
I am sure you're not going to die. They can fix almost anything now. Did you tell Peter about this?
I don't want to tell him until I know what I have. But I don't know how to find out what I have.
Well, don't worry about that. Now, I know where we can find a doctor who will believe you.
Yeah.
Excuse me, please. I work here.
I want to see our babe. I'm sorry if you just leave your name, address, and phone number.
Our lawyer is on his way down here.
What kind of place are you running? Someone will be in touch.
Sean.
Just keep walking. I'll fill you in. Apparently, we were a big hit on the evening news. We got so many calls about this baby, our voicemail system crashed.
What about her mother?
Nothing.
And, the circus in the hallway?
Well, that's where it gets interesting.
The helpful kind of interesting?
More like the icky kind of interesting. All these couples claim the baby's theirs, and they have the receipts to prove it.
They purchased the baby?
That's what they're saying.
That is our name. And is there someone our attorney could speak to directly?
No, we're just a little understaffed.
Granted, I'm having a better day than you are. And granted, I'm the one who wanted to be a doctor, and it's not like I heard residency is a cakewalk and all of a sudden I'm surprised. But so far today, I have changed 3 light bulbs, mopped 2 hallways, and filled out 50 insurance forms. Of course, I can't say that I haven't been able to do any doctoring because I did get to dig the maggots out of the groin region of the homeless man with gangrene. But as much as I enjoyed that, I still find myself asking the complex existential question. For this, I gave up 60 grand in a Sonic Blue SUV. Hold the elevator!
So is that like a dead body?
Yes, it's very much like a dead body.
And what are you, the official dead guy pusher?
It's actually a highly technical skill.
Is he supposed to be in here?
No. He's supposed to be at his high school reunion. He had a heart attack just to inconvenience you. Toodles.
Who was that guy?
It's a long story, but don't worry, I can handle it.
No, that tattoo on his wrist, I've seen those at Long Lane. The number tells how many years you've done.
How many years has he done?
5. That's a lot for Julie.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to make this a bigger deal than it is.
How big is it? Look, I'm responsible for Lauren a lot of the time. If there's something going on, I think I should know.
Well, he's bad news. I don't know how bad. But if you ever see him anywhere near Lauren or her school, let me know immediately, okay?
Okay. I gotta go meet Lauren.
The picture does resemble her.
You see? Now that's definitely the same baby.
That's our baby. Where is she?
All right, first of all, she is not your baby.
But we bought her before they bought her.
And second of all, she is not a dinette set that you order off the home shopping channel. They have to go.
Maxine?
Did it occur to you for a second that attempting to purchase a child for cash might be illegal?
No.
Not to mention morally repugnant and wrong?
We wanted a baby for so long. I couldn't get pregnant. We tried to find a lawyer to help us adopt. And then Paul saw this adoption service on the internet, and we figured...
You figured if it's on the internet, well, it must be legal. What can you tell us about the person you contacted?
Her name's...
No, we don't have to tell you anything.
Wrong again. The only choice you have here is to tell us what we need to know now, before I call the state prosecutor's office, or after I hang up.
Her name's Lydia Copeland.
And what do we know about her?
That's all we know. Except the address where we sent the money.
Well, that might be helpful. What do you think?
We didn't even know
defense
the
had
existence
ample
of this
opportunity
witness
to
until this
provide this name
afternoon,
during
Your Honor.
discovery. The
We
fact
didn't
that they
have
have
a
not
name.
located
As soon
the
as we
witness
got
is
a name, we
irrelevant
provided
because
it to
if
the
they had a
prosecution, but we didn't
possibility
have
of
one
locating
until
him, then we
today.
should have known. We should know about it.
Okay. Stop talking, both of you. Here's what I got from that incredibly civil and constructive exchange. You want to call a new witness? Someone not on the list?
Your Honor,
Stop talking. Nod your head for yes, shake your head for no. You have a new witness, and you don't think we should hear from that witness today? Okay. Ms. Orr, you first. Why the surprise witness? You may speak.
Your Honor, Mrs. Levitt has already testified that she never had an affair with a student. This witness is our smoking gun.
Mr. Friedman.
It's trial by ambush, Your Honor. We believe the defense knew about this witness and purposefully kept the name off the witness list to prevent us from discrediting him.
So you don't object to the witness as much as to the procedure? Let's hear the witness.
Jillian, I'm sorry to be late. Where's Kyle?
He said to wait. He'll be back.
Oh, is that all he said?
No, he told me all about the bad day that he was having while he drew about 3 quarts of blood.
Why is he having a bad day?
I wasn't listening.
All right, we're not going to react to anything but facts. So far, we know that Kyle is checking something in your blood, and he's having a bad day. And frankly, he's young and healthy, so we don't give a damn what kind of day he's having.
Hey, Maxine. Okay. It'll be a few days before we get the full report, but in the meanwhile, I wanted to rule out a couple of things.
What did you rule out?
Actually, I ended up ruling them in.
Are they bad?
Do you mind if Maxine hears this?
No, I want Maxine to hear it. What? What is it?
Well, first of all, you have anemia. That's why you've been so tired. I brought you this fascinating fact sheet on anemia, including some dietary suggestions. And you need to start taking these right away.
What are these?
Prenatal vitamins.
What?
You're probably anemic because you're pregnant.
But I don't get pregnant.
Apparently you do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
We've got an unresponsive patient in BFib. Let's go.
Me?
You're a doctor, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Let's go.
What are the chances she just stepped out for lunch?
We both knew she'd be gone.
I didn't.
I'm pretty sure she left as soon as she dropped the baby at the hospital.
We'll issue a warrant on your baby broke, and maybe we'll get lucky.
You should add kidnapping to the charge. The warrant might get a little more attention.
Kidnapping?
How do you think she acquired the child in the first place? She either stole that little girl or paid her mother a couple of $100, which in my book amounts to the same thing.
We'll call you if we hear anything.
The hospital called today. They're ready to release the baby. Do you want me to pick her up? Maxine?
No, what I want is for you to stop the callous people of the world from preying on the poor and the ignorant. Can you do that?
I'll bring it up in the next staff meeting.
Clayton Leonard, 20 years old.
Where do you go to school, Mr. Leonard?
University of Connecticut.
Where did you go to high school?
Fillmore High.
Do you know Rosalie Levitt?
Yeah, she was my physics teacher junior year.
And was that the extent of the relationship?
No. We had an affair when I was a senior. I don't know if affair is the right word, though. Mostly we just had sex.
And how long did that go on?
Almost 3 months, and then she dumped me for someone else. I think he was a sophomore.
Liar.
Mr. Nelson.
But he's lying.
David.
She said not to tell anyone, that we'd both get in trouble. I'm sorry.
Sir, you're going to have to sit down.
What did you do? Tell me. Tell me!
Your Honor, the defense is inclined to rest. I think we can all see where this story is going. I don't need to hear any more.
Mr. Friedman, are you prepared to cross-examine?
No. I'd like to request a recess, Your Honor. I'm going to want some time to prepare.
Ms. Orr?
By all means. I encourage the state to take as much time as it needs.
Thank you. Mr. Leonard, you may sit down.
Sorry. The door was open. I just wanted to give you this.
What is it?
I did a little detective work. I thought you should find out what Jason Lobdell's been up to since you sent him away.
How bad is it?
I think you should see for yourself.
Was this a dog before Jason got to it?
Yeah. I think you should get a restraining order.
I think you're right.
That's the last form. We expected you earlier.
I'm sorry, I know I couldn't get away till now.
Mother never showed up?
No, and she's not going to.
So what happens next? You'll find her a home, right? I saw the news. It looks like there are a lot of people who want her.
None of those people have a legal claim to that baby. I'm taking her to a foster home. We'll go from there.
That doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't. All right. Yes. Shh. Everything's going to be all right. Take a good look around. Yeah.
So, this guy, he's swinging his nephew around, you know, the way guys do, and he doesn't realize he's really close to this tree.
Here you go, honey.
What's that?
Just open it.
Okay, in a minute. So anyway, the guy accidentally swings the kid into the tree and breaks the kid's ankle. So, he and his son, the kid's cousin, they put the kid in the car and they take him to the family doctor.
Aren't you gonna open it?
I will in a minute. So, the doctor asks the guy what happened. So, he picks up his son and he says to the doctor, "Doc, it was nothing. I was just swinging him around like this."
Why don't you open it now?
Don't interrupt, Lauren.
But I want to know what the present is.
I said I will in a minute.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Peter, everyone knows that story. Open your present.
What am I getting a present for?
Just open it.
What is it?
Are you sure?
Oh my God.
What?
Walking down the road with the one you love. Maybe launch from a slingshot.
What?
Oh my God.
Just let go.
What is it? What's going on?
Coming up next on TNT's Prime Time in the Daytime, the drama erupts when a child is charged with obstruction of justice.